Good evening. Welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight's stories include bicycle.
Everybody who honors their pledges within the next 2 weeks will, everybody who...
And more, so please stay tuned. Okay.
Last week, the Doucettes and the Grants went on vacation together. 2 weeks of fun in the jungles of Brazil. The Grants will be in for a surprise when they return. If you're like the Doucettes and don't like surprises, do what they did. Call the Insurance Bureau of Canada for a free guide to preventing burglary.
A trip to the hospital is rarely a treat, but at least now it won't be such a bumpy ride.
How you doing?
Life, as we know it, took a twist on Tuesday as residents had to make do without electricity for 6 hours. Through the joint efforts of everyone involved, the Recreation Commission supplied a full day of entertainment for the community last Sunday.
I must say, they got me in focus, so that's a good start. And I know you're all out there trying to adjust yourself, saying, what the hell is that on my TV? No, that's Dick, okay? Dick's back for the second annual, and we're here doing the telethon. We got a lot of fun for you this afternoon. Lots of nice prizes. Now let's see how hot Georgianne is on camera. Are you ready, Georgianne? We're going to get a shot.
The hand that feeds us, but I'm tired, Lord, of swallowing my pride. 'Cause you know I've always been a working man, and that's something I don't ever want to change. And all I'm asking you is not for change.
So remember to get those pledges paid this week. Our lives were enlightened on Tuesday night in a way which most could have done without.
Scarlet purple here. Oh, I got it. Oh, I got it. You left it.
The Rodeo detachment of the RCMP held a bicycle rodeo for children in grades kindergarten to grade 6 at the fish plant parking lot on Thursday.
bronze, the gold medal winner. Hold on, move back. Move back. Is Jamie Warren. Jamie Warren. Here's Jamie. You ready, son? There you go. The silver medal winner is Adam Green. And the bronze goes to Mason Keeping. Okay, the grade twos, there was a tie for first place for a gold medal between Ingrid Strickland and Kevin Spencer. And the silver goes to Sheldon Ingram. And the bronze goes to Jeffrey Young. Grade 3, the gold winner is Corey Collier. There was a tie for the silver, Jennifer Han and Krista Ingram. And there was a tie for bronze between Tyson Domney and Jeff James. Grade 4s. Move back again, boys. Move back. Move over. The winner went to Daniel Archibald. I didn't score. Second place went to Joey Strickland. Third place, Krista Lehan. Pretty excited. Grade 5, gold medal winner is Chris Warren. Silver goes to David Ingram. David Ingram, where are you? And the bronze goes to Patty Courtney. Grade 6. The winner is Stephen Archibald. I taught him how to drive his bike though. The silver goes to Justin Bagg. And the bronze goes to Michael Green.
Stay tuned for the Lions Cavalcade for Diabetes, the interview portion of our show, and more coming up in just a moment. Okay?
Even though many types of blindness can be prevented, thousands of people lose their sight every year. The reason? They ignore the danger signs. Signs like blurred vision, eye pain, and excessive tearing. And then, before they know it, vision loss has set in. Don't be on a collision course with blindness. Learn the danger signs and protect your sight. A message brought to you by Lions Clubs International.
The annual Mayor's March for Heart Disease went ahead on Monday night.
I'll set the pace.
Don't go too fast, Dave. It's great to see our town council getting out and raising funds for such a worthwhile cause. The Lions Club also did a good turn yesterday as representatives from Burgeo participated in the Lions Cavalcade for Diabetes between Deer Lake and Corner Brook. I decided to tag along with the Lions members to show you firsthand what the Lions Cavalcade is all about. The cavalcade got underway as a small but enthused group of lions and lioness from the district decorated their vehicles outside of the Deer Lake Motel. I spoke with Chris Manuel, coordinator of the Lions Cavalcade for Diabetes for this district 41S1, to find out why the Lions decided to have this cavalcade.
There's two main reasons. The first reason, and I guess the most important one, is to provide much needed diabetes awareness. And the second reason is, of course, as a fundraiser. So those are the two main reasons.
Okay, I understand that you've been doing this for a number of years now, but never on such a big level?
Yeah, it's the cavalcade itself started in 1986 in Alberta, and it's filtered down through the provinces, and it's, as you know, in Newfoundland we have two districts. 41S2, which is Gander and East, have had the cavalcade for a number of years, but we've been, because of the geography of our district, larger district, we've been a little bit slower trying to get it going. And but this is our first year. We finally organized it. It seems to be catching on well. We hope that it will be an annual thing from now on. Way up in the northern peninsula and Labrador. But those people have been sending in, those people send in contributions to me for the cavalcade, and all of this will be announced in Corner Brook later on this evening.
The cavalcade left Deer Lake shortly after 1 and proceeded to Corner Brook. It arrived at Corner Brook at around 2:30. Following the cavalcade, everyone gathered at the Lion's Den in Corner Brook, where representatives from some of the clubs across the district presented the pledges raised from their communities to Chris Manuel. Included in the donations received were 2 donations made from the clubs here in Burgeo.
Rodeo Lions, $641. Well, this is something to be excited about. The total figures that we have right now is $9,700.
The Lions Cavalcade for Diabetes will be shown in its entirety at a later date. Tune in to Channel 10 for the exact date and time. This week's interview deals with the hunter capability testing that is carried out here in Burgeo every spring. Our guest today is Eugene Ball. He's a Wildlife Conservation Officer with the Burgeo Wildlife Division. Eugene's going to talk to us today about the hunter capability test. Can you tell us what this test consists of?
Basically, we got a written exam, which you got basically 50 questions, 20 true and false questions, and 30 multiple choice questions. You got to get 45 out of 50 to move on to the shooting part. hit the vital area, which is the heart and lungs. On both tests, the written and the shooting, you get 2 opportunities to pass.
Okay, can you take your 2 opportunities on the same day?
Yes, or you can wait until a later date.
Why do you need to write this test?
One of the things that our wildlife division is concerned with is humane killing of animals and stuff like that. Like when there's when a person's hunting, sin to have owners out in the field that are not half decent shots. Basically, they could knock a leg off or something. The animal's going to suffer a lot more. But when you do this test, it just gives you some idea of the vital areas such as the heart and lung, and that's the area that you got to hit. Once an animal is hit the heart or lung and does a little suffering. There's also the safety aspect of it. Safety is very important, and it just gives you a general overview of using a firearm safely and stuff like that, and some of the safety rules and regulations. And the reason, the reason for the test is in order for you to apply for a big game license, you have to have an honor capability number, which you get if you passes. Okay, in order for you to be able to apply for a big game license. All right.
Okay, are there any criteria that must be met in order to write the hunter's capability test?
The person got to be 17 years of age by August 31st of the year that you were doing the test on, and also a non-resident got to be in the province 6 months prior to applying for a license or whatever. So you got to be a resident of Newfoundland.
Does your office supply the firearms needed to take the test?
No. People are required to provide their own firearms, and that's actually better because you should only get, basically, if the person's using one firearm, they should be used to that firearm instead of picking up one that they never ever used before.
Okay, can you refuse to let someone use a particular gun if you feel that it's not safe?
Yes, certain guns are illegal to start with. Like a 22 caliber rifle can't be used for big game hunting, and there's some others as well. So if a person came in one of those types of guns, that automatically they either be told to get a new one, or they may even possibly fail. That's about it, I guess. And if you also, if you got a gun that's not safe or we don't think is safe, then we can refuse person the right to use that gun.
I noticed that you didn't use the rest and the back wall that are constructed a number of years ago at the rifle range. Why is this?
That area of the range is actually very unsafe. All shot up. One thing that we'd like to see happen in the future, we don't know if it ever will or not, but we'd like to see a suitable fire range set up somewhere in this area, because if the rules and regulations become stricter, we might even have to move our honor capability testing out of Burgess altogether, take it to Stephenville where you got a certified range. So I'd like to stress that fact that that range is very unsafe.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Wear blaze orange, for one thing. We've been getting a lot of hunters out there with camouflage clothing on. It's very unsafe. Can't be seen, or it's very hard to see them, and there's a good chance that an accident might happen. Blaze orange shows up really well, and there's no other color in nature like it, and it makes the possibility a lot less of getting shot or anything like that.
Okay, the test that you held on Friday, is that the last?
That's the last one for this year. For the Brook area, we got one left to do in Ramsey.
Okay. If someone fails this year, can they take the test again next year?
Yes.
Okay, but they're only
you can only allowed one opportunity each year. Okay. Once you fail once, like if you fail today, that's basically you got to come back again next year. Okay.
Okay, well, thanks for coming in and speaking with us.
No problem. Thank you.
Our guest today is Eugene Ball. He's the Wildlife Conservation Officer here in Burgeo. This week, as we look back and remember when, we're going to look at a few highlights of a lightning storm that made contact here in Burgeo.
Burgeo was hit with a dreadful lightning storm Thursday night. Most people said it was one of the worst storms they had ever seen. We had a few trouble calls here at BBS on Friday, but the problems were damaged TV sets, not cable trouble. Hydro had a few problems as well. Some areas were hit more seriously than others. Residents of Kelvin Parsons add the biggest charge of all. This house was one of the more severely hit. Lightning struck the CB antenna, which was fastened to the pole on the corner of the patio. This is what remained. Here is where lightning entered. This is where it exited. Note the mud which was splattered on the walls of the basement. This telephone cover was found approximately 20 feet from the house. As well, a metal shelf in the basement was actually welded onto the ductwork nearby. The residents of this house
Remember
must have
when?
had quite a jolt.
1990. Well, that's it for tonight's stories. Please stay tuned now for the 3 entries in the nature video contest that was held as part of last week's telethon. On behalf of all of us here at BBS, thanks for watching. I'm Dave Cooper. Good night.